In today's video, I'm going to be enjoying some homemade avocado toast that you saw me make in the previous video. And I also have another viral topic. Let's see what you think.
$20, that's easy. And so I was just thinking, sometimes people come to these church services and they come to these conferences and stuff, and they are just like at their wits' end, and they just want to hear encouraging words, something to keep them going, something to keep them from losing hope even more. And so some people may say $20 is easy, but for someone coming in who may have lost their job and they've been struggling to get another job, or they just had a major emergency and they don't know how they're gonna fund it, and you're telling them giving $20 is easy, it's not for everybody. Hey guys, it's me, Talia Risa Gibson. You can call me Tag for short, and welcome to my channel.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Today I have some avocado toast. You can see it here. It's a simple one this time. I have some sourdough bread. I have the avocado, mashed avocado. It has lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, sea salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and I mixed all of that up, mashed it with potato masher just to get it mashed, so that I could spread it on the sourdough bread. And then I put some alfalfa sprouts just for some extra nutrition on there as well, and a little bit of crunch. So sometimes I'll add tomato, I'll add a fried egg. So you can mix it up however you want, but this is just a simple one today. And so I'll say a prayer and we'll get into it. Dear God, thank you for this food I'm about to eat. Thank you for this day. I ask you to be with my viewers, keep them happy, healthy, and safe. In your name I pray, amen. Amen. All right, y'all, so let's see. I'll give you guys the first bite. There you go. All right, let's see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I got the sprout idea, the little sprouts. I got that idea from eating an avocado toast from a restaurant when I was in Las Vegas for work. And it doesn't like change the flavor too much. There's a little earthiness to it, but these are the alfalfa sprouts. You can get, they have the broccoli sprouts, the different kind of sprouts like this, clover sprouts. So, the video before this one, I showed how I made this avocado toast, which was really simple. if you just don't want to do the meatless, you could do a chicken breast on there. I've done it with the fried egg and all of that before. I have this Hum probiotic kombucha. This one is the blackberry. Pretty good. Has 7 grams of sugar, but no added sugar, so that's good. It has B12, vitamin B12. Tastes great, less sugar. This is the first time I've had the Hum, but it's pretty good. If you like that kombucha taste or whatever. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. So there's been this uproar about Marvin Sapp. He's a gospel singer and pastor. He actually has a church here in Fort Worth that he's had for, I think, just a few years now. A few years back, his wife passed away. I think it was cancer, I want to say. To my knowledge, he hasn't gotten remarried. But that doesn't really matter. I was just thinking about it because I know at one point when his wife passed away, all these women were trying to be his next wife. And he was like, I don't even know if I want to do that again. Like, that was the love of my life. And they have children together and all that. So I just remember him talking about that. But there's been an uproar about a video that they said is about a year old. And he was apparently, they said it was a conference, like a church conference that they have every year or something. And they were, I guess it was offering time, was toward the end of the service. And he had asked everyone to give $20. And I guess it's the thing that people who attend that conference, they know that they're usually asked to pay that $20 as a additional offering or whatever, I think. And there was a point in the video where he was basically saying, shut the doors. And he was saying it like really seriously, like, usher, shut the door, shut those doors, however he said it. But he was saying it really seriously. And he was saying, like, I want 1,000 people to bring $20 to the altar or something like that, like as offering. And he was even telling the people online to do the same. And then he said he looked at the people that were behind him in the pulpit, like the other ministers and pastors and stuff. And he was like, something about, I think he told them $100 each. He said, we have to pay to be up here. You guys, we pay to do this or something he said. But it was just things that I don't personally agree with. And so people started putting this out there with the video, and some people started changing it and said that he had the ushers lock the doors, and that wasn't true. He just told them to shut the door. This one guy posted on Facebook saying that he was there at the conference and that people made the video seem like something that it wasn't. He said that everyone knows that they were going to give like the $20 or whatever, and that if you don't have $20 to give, then something basically like anybody should be able to give $20. That's what this guy was kind of saying. And even Marvin Sapp was kind of saying the same thing. like $20, that's easy. And so I was just thinking, sometimes people come to these church services and they come to these conferences and stuff, and they are just like at their wits' end, and they just want to hear encouraging words, something to keep them going, something to keep them from losing hope even more. And so some people may say $20 is easy, but for someone coming in who may have lost their job and they've been struggling to get another job, or they just had a major emergency and they don't know how they're going to fund it, and you're telling them giving $20 is easy, it's not for everybody. And so I didn't agree with that. I never agree with a minister, pastor, whoever, evangelist, whoever they're supposed to be, telling people how much they're supposed to give, because an offering should be free will. Now, if you are of Christian faith and you attend a church, there is the thing about tithing. And of course, in the Bible, it was tithing, and it had kind of these mandates of what tithing is, but it looks much differently probably back then, or looked much differently back then than what it looks now, because to me, people have just monetized it as if that is all that it is. It could be, to me, 10% of your time, giving to others, volunteering, helping others. But the church has said pretty much that 10% should be from your money. And then some people have even gotten even more bold and said, like, that should be 10% of your gross income, not of your net income. And I'm like, where are you guys getting all of these rules? And so it's really a matter of if you buy into all the whole church culture and all the rules that they have and all of that. And I just don't agree. Even if that video wasn't as it seemed, still, he said enough that I did not agree with. First of all, you should never tell anybody what to give. If somebody has $2 to give and they are giving it freely from their heart, that should be welcomed just as much as somebody who gives $20. I don't know. It was just, to me, unnecessary. And I know people that were there. Well, I don't know them personally, but I know that people have been posting that were there, and they are saying, like, there's an attack on the church. This video was not what it seemed. It was a year old, and that's not what he was saying, and all of these different things. But I just think overall, there's a lot that goes on in churches that is asking people to give money and give money and give money and give money. And you see people just struggling, and they're still struggling. But then you see the leadership, the pastors, getting wealthier and wealthier. And I'm not talking about all churches. I know that there are some who really pour back into their communities and give scholarships, and they use the money to really like support the community and all of that. But that's not the case for everybody. And so I don't know. I did a video on my TikTok. Never would have paid it. Because he has a song called Never Would Have Made It. And I was like, never would have paid it. Just because I don't agree with that. And if people wanted to leave, it's nobody's place to stop them from leaving. I know that they don't want people walking while like prayer is happening, or while they're getting ready to do offering, or if they're close to dismissal, they try to tell people to stay and finish the service. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, if someone wants to leave, they have the free will to leave. And so it's not rude for someone to say, because if you say close the doors, you may not have locked the doors, but if someone comes to the door, is the usher going to have an attitude and say no walking and not let you out? Because when you say close the doors, you are telling people not to leave, even though you're not saying lock the door. I know that people do need to, like if you're going to a church, you should want to pour into the church and keep it going and all of that, because churches don't just get their electricity paid and all these different things. And if you're really trying to help your community and really trying to have a place where you guys can come and commune together, I do think the members will give to support that. But when you start demanding that they give certain amounts, then you lose sight of what it's supposed to be. Because people who are coming there, they're coming because they feel like the message that they're hearing when they're there adds value to their life. The fellowship with the people adds value to their life. And so they're going to naturally want to give, whether it's offerings or tithes or whatever it might be. But no one should ever be demanding a certain amount. There's a church that I heard about that the pastors or whoever on their leadership team, they actually required the families to show like their income so that they can make sure that families are tithing the right percentage. And I was like, what? It's too far. Like, for real, y'all. Can you imagine someone saying that they want to see your income or verification of income so that they can make sure you're giving the right percentage of tithes? I couldn't do it. It wouldn't be me. That would be like, I'm sorry, this is not the church for me. ATMs in churches and all of those things. And the thing about it, it's not there for the convenience of people so that they can get money on their way out to go grocery shopping for their family. That's not why the ATMs are in the churches. It's because people may come and they have a card and they can't say, well, I don't have cash. If you have ATM in the church, because you can say, well, there's ATM. And now like they have like where you can do cashless payments through apps and all of that. So it's just, I don't know. Like I understand that if you are attending a church and you feel like this church holds value for your family and for you in your life, I understand freely giving when you can and helping the church thrive so that you can help others in the community. And I've said that before, but like that I can understand, but it should never be a requirement of people to give this certain amount or this or that. I struggle with the whole even just membership in church anyway, because if you go to a church and after a while they'll want you to become a member, and I'm just like, man, a member of a church, like, is that biblical, being a member of the church? I don't know. Like you have to be a member and then that means you can't be a member elsewhere. And it's just all these rules that humans have made. And it's just church culture. It's this culture that's been created by people and people follow it because that's just the rules of the church. And there's just so many things where I'm just like, you take things that were happening in the Bible and they may have a different context or history based on the times that they were living in. But that doesn't necessarily apply to the current times that we live in 2025. And people try to hold people to principles and things that were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds like years ago. And it's like, is that really the way? But I don't know. What do you guys think? In that situation, even though the people say that it wasn't as it seemed, if someone is requiring that you give $20, do you feel like your heart would lead you to give that $20? Or do you feel like you would want to leave? I've been in services where people have asked for ridiculous amounts of money, like $50, $100, $20, and I would give freely of what I wanted to give, and sometimes it might be $5, but just the whole idea of any of that. But I don't know, I struggle with the whole church culture. Like, I feel like it gives God a bad reputation, and it's not even God, it's human people and human behaviors and all of that, whether you believe in God or not. But I just feel like a lot of this is just human nature, and it's being put on people. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Because either way, like, just either way, I just felt like I didn't agree. Well, that is it. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like avocado like I do and you want a simple, quick lunch, then make yourself some avocado toast. You can slice up tomato and put it on top. You can do a fried egg and put it on top. It's good that way as well. So you can always look up avocado toast recipes and make it however is satisfying for you. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification so you'll know when I post. Until next time, bye.